So we had a busy weekend. Today's Monday. I just had one of my customers leave. I guess Friday I caught a cold. I've been stuffy. Didn't really affect me until like this morning. Last night I was kind of congested and everything. So I've decided to, I took today off. I'm taking tomorrow off. I got the old truck still. Here she is. So I've taken the last video. I didn't show none of it because I was so busy. But I took the battery, set it here. I went on the gray and black wire, charged the, ran the pump, and that one fitting was leaking on there. Which I had a feeling what happened with the TIG torch after I was done with it, as I was like letting the pedal up and cooling down, I was pulling the wand away and I accidentally like hit something, and when it went, it like melted up the tube, and that's where it was leaking from. So it was an accident. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but it did. So the injectors themselves, the top O-ring on like the original ones that belong to this truck are bigger in diameter than the bottom O-ring. The injectors I put in there have the little O-ring top and bottom. So I'm going to take it apart and put the big O-ring on the top, where that's where the pressure is. So I might have to run out and get some new ones. These are a little chafed up here, but that's where I'm at with that. But I got to fix the problem with the fuel pump. This is my fuel pump assembly. I cut this back off, and I guess from welding it, it hardened it, and I had all to do to get my drill bits to drill it. But it's 3/8. I've got this to where it'll fit on here again. So I'm going to TIG weld this again. I didn't save the little piece that, no, I didn't save it, that got messed up to where it was leaking at. But I'm gonna re-weld this one more time. Pray to God that I don't mess it up, and let it cool down, and we'll run fuel again through it, and hope that it don't leak, and then I can figure out my problem at the fuel rails. So let me get started with that. Let me bring it down in here. See, I've got the whole weld done, except for this back part right in here. This is an extremely difficult area to get the torch into without like bumping a bunch of stuff, and that's what happened last time. As I was coming off of it, it like went this way, and I like welded into this pipe. And that's where my problem was. So this time around, I'm going to try to be careful with it. And there we have it. We're gonna wait till it's not glowing red anymore, and once it's cooled to the touch, I'll put it back in and pressurize the system, and we can see if we fix the problem. So wish me luck on that. I got this fuel rail off. These are my Bosch style injectors here. These are pretty tight into the bottom part of the manifold, so I'm imagining those are good. I don't know what's up with these top ones though. So let's take these out and play with them on the workbench and see if maybe it's an O-ring issue or if it's something else. Who knows? So here we are back in the table. I mean, these feel pretty snug. Yeah, I'm not really having an issue with any of them. Unless maybe those hold downs, unless they just weren't in the right spot maybe. I'm going to put the bigger O-ring on some of these. I think these are the bigger O-rings. Let me switch the O-rings here quick. Alright, this is the O-ring I just took off of it. It is the bigger O-ring. So, you know, that's the smaller one there. I don't even think that would fit on here. So yeah, like, that's not it. So, I'm not sure what I've done here, to be honest with you. I think I just didn't have the fuel rail pushed down all the way. This is a real weird, like, fuel rail mounting way that they have this set up. I'm thinking it's user error, to be honest with you. So let me go back out there. I'm going to set this back up, try to tighten it down. And I'm at the position once again where I can charge the fuel system and see where we're at. So let me do that. Well, let's see what that does. I just kind of push this down. I don't like the way these fuel rails mount because there's nothing to pull them down. Like, you have to push them down and then tighten these up, and it's, I don't know, it's real weird. I'm used to like stuff AEM makes and like aftermarket stuff to where it's a little more secured. Okay, this is gonna spin. I gotta do this with two hands. Okay, and then I gotta do the fuel supply. Okay, so that's it. Those two lines are connected again. Let me go in the back, set this sending unit in place. See how hot this is. Okay, I can touch that. So cool. Hopefully this is it. Let me put this sending unit back in here and we'll fire it up. All right, that's it. We got our battery in place up here on the tire. The gray wire is our power. So there we go. I just stuck that in there. Excuse me. This is our ground to the pump. We're gonna run this up here. And this is it. This is, as soon as I touch this, it's gonna run. I'm gonna get a flashlight quick so we can all see what's going on. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, I found my flashlight. So let's do it. I hear something up front. And that's it. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, let me shut it off. I think the pump's done though. What is leaking? That's frustrating. It's hard to tell if it's this fitting back here or if it's the injector. I think it's the injector. Yeah, it's the injector. It's right here. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to replace this O-ring, I guess. It looks like all of them were leaking. Oh, this is frustrating. Like, if it wasn't flammable gasoline, I'd just let it go till I figure it out. But, you know, it's flammable gasoline, so. This is all dry. That's excellent news. That's all dry. Let's check our filter. Look at this. Oh, okay, here's our, this is that regulator. This is all dry as well. So that's good. Cool, so I gotta figure out that injector problem. Why in the world is that one injector doing that? Alright, let me take this back apart and we'll have a better look at it. Alright, I got all the injectors out again. I was just out in the garage playing with this, the fitment. I mean, it is snug. Like, I don't understand. The only other thing I can think of, no, that's not it either. See this metal clip? I'm thinking, see there's like another thing that maybe it could go into, but it doesn't go all the way around like the top clip does, or the top slot. So, you know, that kind of sets the depth. You can't smash it any more than that. I don't know what to do. The other side's not leaking, it's just this side. So I'm going to change them out for these used blue ones that I got here, which I really don't want to do. It's against my judgment, but I'm going to try it. A lot of people have having problems with these. And these are like literally the same as like the Holley EFI stuff, so I may have to swap these out. And it might be like these holes are just a millimeter bigger than they should be because it's Chinese instead of, well, I'm sure the Holley stuff is Chinese too, but they're a little tighter on quality control versus this stuff off of Amazon, you know. So I don't even think I got this off of Amazon. I think this was eBay. I think this is an eBay special here. So my other concern was maybe because these fittings screw on. Let me grab a fitting. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is identical to the fitting that goes in there. You see how there's an O-ring in there? What I did when I put these in, I put some blue thread sealant and just ran them in. And I'm thinking maybe I pinched the O-ring and it's leaking there. I'm not sure. I really don't know. It's seated flush, so there's nothing telling me that, like, if it wasn't seated all the way in, it would tell me that it's pinched the O-ring and it can't go any further. These are seated all the way, so I don't really know what I've done. So I don't know. I'm gonna change these O-rings over to these blue ones that I got up here on this case, and we're gonna try it again. All right, so these are all in with the blue O-rings now, the used ones. So I'm gonna stick this in again. Let me get in here and I'll show you what I'm talking about with these brackets. So you see how they're like, see if I can manage to get this flashlight. Of course it works. Yeah, exactly. You know what? We didn't need the flashlight anyway. So we got these brackets here. They screwed down into here, but this piece screws this way. It doesn't screw like down, which is my concern. But anyway, I'm gonna put this fuel rail back in and pressurize it again. We'll see what it does. All right, this is it. I got it all back together yet again. I'm gonna go fire up this fuel pump and see if we got a leaker still. Why you no work? What's going on here? What did I do? What the heck did I do? I don't understand. What did I do? What the heck? Oh, there it is. Bad ground. It's always a bad ground. All right. We're good there. I don't hear anything up front. Let's see what's going on. She's dry. Imagine that. Some bad O-rings, huh? Brand new too, right out of the Fel-Pro pack. These are the old O-rings. Don't ask me what's going on. I have no clue. Alright, still got the pump running. So my concern was with these fittings. Yeah, we're still dry. My concern was with these fittings, you see how these I got hose clamps on? That they were just going to blow off. Let me get under the truck. Okay, here we go. I'm squeezing these lines. There's not, if there's 50 psi on these lines, I can still squeeze them, you know. That's what, I have no way of telling how much pressure is in here. So this fuel pump regulator thing is supposed to do like, I don't know, 46 or 52 psi, something like that. I've got no way of knowing what's actually in here. That's my biggest issue. Like if I was just putting this in and then driving it to work, like, yeah, no big deal, let me get back out. Like, you know, if I was just putting it in and driving to work and back and I wasn't trying to get any kind of like performance out of it, no big deal, but that's not what's going on here, you know. I don't see nothing leaking. I'm happy, finally. I don't know, I'm kind of nervous now. I want to change the other side to those blue O-rings just because, like, this is the hot side, you know what I mean? I'm going to let this pump run for another minute or two and we'll see what happens. Alright, I'm going to shut the camera off and wait for a minute. Alright, about 10 minutes went by and, you know, I've been shaking these rails around and twisting the injectors themselves. That's where you plug it in at. I guess I'm as confident as I'll ever be on these injectors not leaking, which is kind of weird. I hate using used parts, but it is what it is. So that's it. So to recap on the fuel system, we've adapted an old system to the new system. The new system doesn't have a return. It just has a supply and that's it. That regulator, the little filter looking thing, is the filter and the regulator that sees pressure coming out of the pump, which is still running. Sees pressure coming out of the pump, goes to that filter, the diaphragm in there, the regulator gets whatever pressure it needs is set to go to the engine, and whatever's left over returns back. So all I'm doing right now is circulating from the tank, from the pump to that filter regulator thing and back to here. That's all we're doing. That apparently is how like the newer Corvettes and Camaros, that's what this is off of, like a, I don't know, whatever the newer Corvette is, but that's the system I've gone with. So this is all dry. I'm confident to put the bed back on this truck, which is good. That's been accomplished. I gotta plug this into there, and that's it, we're done. So fuel system's finished. Finally move on to the next thing. Let me show you what the next thing is. Here she be. That flex piece, I haven't made my mind up if I just want to cut apart what I've already done, add an inch or whatever in there and make it work, or half an inch, whatever it is. I didn't make that tube out of this material. I made it out of something else, which to get this to work. So the way these are put together, can you see this in here? You got an inside, and then this, the inside has the flexible piece in there, and then the outside, I don't know why they put the steel braided stuff on, but they secure the steel braided stuff by this outer lip, right? So I was kind of showing in my other video what was going on with this. Give me a second, I gotta find the tube I was using. So this is a piece of it here. This is that 2.5 inch tube that I bought. I didn't use any of it. I used something else that I used, but that fits inside this, into that inside piece. So if I was to weld this, I'd be welding all 4 layers, the tube, the inside, this metal mesh braid, and the outside. I'd be welding all 4 layers together, right? Versus this, if I use this, see how it goes right to the, we'll go to this outer ring. So if I welded this to this, it has a chance, see they only spot welded this in a couple spots, this outer ring. I could pull this outer ring off and I'd have a massive exhaust leak, which isn't what I want to do. My other option is I could cut this to, like this fits, hold on a second. There we go, I took this apart. So this fits inside of this. But you see how loose it is? This is why I didn't use the 2 to begin with. I didn't mix the 2. My original thought was I thought this was the same size as this. Made half the pipe and realized that this was a different size. So I wound up not using it. But so my options are to either make a new pipe out of this, which is what I had bought this for and intended it for, or cut this, put this inside there, weld that, and then go on the outside with this and weld that there. It's a lot of freaking work, a lot of welding. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. My first intentions were to do all this without using one of these, so I might continue on, use a piece like this and try to fix what I already made, because I'm almost there, you know what I mean? Another thing I got to do, which I'm going to try to do it today, I've got to take the turbo, the downpipe, and get the manifold off, and where the spark plug wires go through. See how they're touching right there? Ah, come on, stay. I've got to take a die grinder and cut a little bit into these so this isn't touching that on all 4 of those. And I know it's hard to see, but there's a bolt that belongs in there that you can't get in because of the way the casting is. I was going to grind that away, smooth it out so the nut could fit on. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop here for this video for my fuel system. Now that the fuel system's working, we're good to go on that. And then I'll edit that, get it up to you guys, and then I'm going to make another video on what I'm going to do with the exhaust. Once I'm done with the exhaust, oh, I also have to take the starter down and put the torque converter bolts in. I forgot to do that like forever ago. So those are a couple things I got to do. Then I'm in a spot where I can get this truck out of here. Like I said, today I didn't do anything. Tomorrow I'm taking off of work, so I'll have all day tomorrow to finish this up too. So hopefully I can get some good videos to you if I'm lucky. And yes, I did mount the PCM and the fuse box. I can start doing electrical, so that would be huge for me. I can start getting everything wired up and get it to where I can crank it. And now I got fuel, so we're good, and I trust it. I'm not going to start a fire that I know of. All right, see you in the next one.